Avoiding these drinks helps reduce health risks, medication interactions, and supports better chronic disease management in seniors over 60. Water, herbal teas, and other low-risk fluids are safer alternatives. Imagine this. It's a quiet Sunday afternoon. You're sitting at the dining table with friends or family, enjoying a nice meal. Someone offers you a drink, maybe a glass of wine, maybe a soda, or even a tall glass of juice. Without thinking twice, you sip away because, hey, what harm could a drink really do, right? But here's the surprising truth. Some everyday drinks can be just as harmful, or even more harmful, than the food you eat. And for seniors over 60, the wrong drink at the wrong time could quietly worsen heart disease, trigger dangerous medication side effects, or even increase your risk of stroke. Let me ask you this. Did you know that even a single glass of grapefruit juice could dangerously interfere with common heart medications? Or that one seemingly harmless can of soda could raise your diabetes and heart disease risk far more than you might think? The fact is, many seniors unknowingly consume drinks that work against their health, their medications, and even their independence. But the good news is, once you know which drinks to avoid and what to replace them with, you can protect your health, reduce complications, and even feel more energetic day to day. Today, we're breaking down 5 common drinks seniors over 60 must avoid for better health. We'll explain the science in simple, everyday language, and most importantly, give you safer alternatives. These tips are backed by doctors, researchers, and trusted medical institutions like Harvard Health, Mayo Clinic, and the National Institute on Aging. So grab a cup of water, or maybe some soothing herbal tea, and let's start with the first and perhaps the most controversial drink on our list: alcohol. Drink number 1, alcohol, the hidden dangers for seniors. Now, let me say this up front. Many people enjoy an occasional glass of wine or a celebratory toast at weddings, anniversaries, or birthdays. For decades, there's even been debate about whether alcohol, especially red wine, has some heart benefits. But here's the thing. Once you cross the age of 60, your body changes in ways that make alcohol far more dangerous than it was in your younger years. As we age, our metabolism slows down, our muscle mass decreases, and our body water content reduces. Why does that matter? Because less water in the body means alcohol becomes more concentrated in the bloodstream. In simple terms, that one glass now hits your body like 2 or 3. According to Harvard Medical School, seniors metabolize alcohol much more slowly. This means alcohol stays in your system longer, intensifying its effects. What might have been a mild buzz years ago can now cause impaired judgment, dizziness, or even increase your risk of falling. This is why it matters for seniors over 60. Falls are one of the leading causes of serious injury and death in older adults. The CDC reports that 1 in 4 adults over 65 falls each year, and alcohol increases that risk significantly. But that's just the beginning. Alcohol also worsens existing health conditions that are already common in seniors. For example, if you have high blood pressure, alcohol raises it even more. If you have diabetes, alcohol can cause dangerous swings in blood sugar. If you have osteoporosis, weakened bones, alcohol accelerates bone loss, making fractures more likely. And if you have memory problems or early dementia, alcohol makes cognitive decline progress faster. A study published in the journal Addiction found that people over 60 who consumed alcohol regularly had a higher risk of early death, especially from cancers and cardiovascular diseases. Another report from the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism warns that alcohol interacts with over 100 commonly prescribed medications. That means your blood pressure pills, cholesterol medicines, blood thinners, diabetes drugs, or even simple over-the-counter painkillers could become dangerous when mixed with alcohol. For example, alcohol combined with blood thinners like warfarin or newer drugs like apixaban significantly increases your risk of internal bleeding. Pair alcohol with sleeping pills or anxiety medications, and the sedative effect can cause accidents, confusion, or hospitalization. It's like mixing chemicals in a lab. Sometimes nothing happens, but other times the reaction is explosive. Let me share a quick story to illustrate this. Mrs. Gloria, a 72-year-old grandmother, loved her evening ritual, a glass of wine with dinner. She felt it helped her relax and wasn't really drinking. But after being prescribed medication for high blood pressure and mild memory loss, her family noticed she became increasingly forgetful, sometimes dizzy, and even had 2 minor falls at home. When her doctor reviewed her lifestyle, the wine stood out. Once she cut back and replaced her nightly drink with herbal tea, her symptoms improved, her blood pressure stabilized, and she avoided further falls. Gloria's story is far more common than you might think. So what can you do if you enjoy the ritual of a drink in the evening? Here are a few safer alternatives. Sparkling water with a splash of lemon or lime. It still feels refreshing and festive. Non-alcoholic wines or mocktails. These mimic the social aspect without the health risks. Herbal teas like chamomile, hibiscus, or rooibos. These are soothing, flavorful, and some even support heart health. The key is not just about cutting alcohol, but replacing it with something that still feels enjoyable and satisfying. If you're finding this helpful so far, take a moment to give this video a thumbs up. It helps more seniors and caregivers discover life-saving information just like this. And if you know someone who enjoys their evening drink, consider sharing this video with them. It might just prevent a fall or a dangerous medication reaction. All right, now that we've talked about alcohol, let's move on to the second drink on our list. And trust me, this one is sneaky because it hides in plain sight. Let me ask you a simple question. What's the one drink that feels refreshing for a few minutes, but could silently harm your health for years? If you guessed soda, you're absolutely right. Drink number 2, sugary soda. Now, I want you to imagine this. You're at a family gathering, it's a hot afternoon, and someone hands you an ice-cold soda. That first fizzy sip feels so satisfying, sweet, bubbly, and refreshing. But here's the problem. What if I told you that the same soda could slowly be increasing your risk of diabetes, weakening your bones, damaging your teeth, and even raising your chances of heart disease? This isn't just a scare tactic, it's reality, especially for older adults. Sugary sodas and sweetened drinks may taste good, but for seniors over 60, they come with some of the biggest hidden health dangers. Let us see why sugary sodas are harmful for seniors. As we age, our bodies process sugar very differently than they did when we were younger. The metabolism slows down, muscle mass decreases, and the body becomes more sensitive to blood sugar spikes. That means those cans of soda or even sweetened fruit drinks hit seniors harder than they hit younger adults. Each can of soda contains anywhere from 9 to 12 teaspoons of sugar. Imagine scooping that into your morning tea. It sounds ridiculous, right? Yet many seniors unknowingly sip this much sugar in just one drink. And here's the scary truth. The sugar rush doesn't just stop at weight gain. It triggers a chain reaction that affects your blood vessels, your heart, your kidneys, your teeth, and even your brain. Why it matters for seniors. Specifically, slower metabolism. Seniors burn calories more slowly, so extra sugar often gets stored as fat, increasing the risk of obesity and type 2 diabetes. Increased diabetes risk. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, more than 25% of adults over 65 are living with diabetes. Sugary drinks are one of the top contributors to blood sugar instability, bone and dental health. As we age, bones naturally lose density. Sodas, especially colas, contain phosphoric acid, which leaches calcium from bones. Combine that with sugar's effect on teeth, and you've got a recipe for osteoporosis and cavities, heart disease and stroke risk. A Harvard School of Public Health study found that people who drink just 1 or 2 sugary beverages a day have a 35% higher risk of heart attack and a 16% higher risk of stroke. For seniors who may already have underlying heart or vascular conditions, that's a major red flag. Research-backed explanation. Let's break down what happens when a senior drinks a can of soda. Within 20 minutes, blood sugar spikes dramatically, forcing the pancreas to pump out extra insulin. Within 40 minutes, the body absorbs caffeine, if present, causing increased blood pressure and faster heartbeat. Within 1 hour, the sugar high drops, leaving you tired, sluggish, and craving more sugar. Now imagine this happening daily for years. According to the World Health Organization, consuming free sugars, like those in soda and sweetened juices, should be less than 10% of total daily calories, and ideally below 5%. For most seniors, that means no more than 25 grams of sugar per day. But one soda alone often exceeds that limit. And here's the kicker. Diet sodas aren't safe either. Research from the American Heart Association suggests that artificial sweeteners in diet sodas may still increase the risk of stroke, dementia, and metabolic syndrome in older adults. Let me share a story. I once spoke with a 8-year-old gentleman named Joe. He loved his daily bottle of soda. It was his treat after lunch. But over the years, he began struggling with weight gain, constant fatigue, and eventually he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. His doctor immediately pointed to sugary beverages as one of the main culprits. When Mr. Okafor switched from soda to water and herbal teas, something remarkable happened. Within a few months, he lost weight, his blood sugar stabilized, and he said he felt 10 years younger. This isn't an isolated case. It's a common story for many seniors who cut back on sugary drinks. Safer alternatives for seniors. So, what should you drink instead? Here are some senior-friendly swaps. Infused water. Add slices of lemon, cucumber, or berries to plain water for flavor without the sugar. Herbal teas. Chamomile, peppermint, and rooibos are naturally caffeine-free and hydrating. Sparkling water with a twist. If you love fizz, go for sparkling water with a splash of natural fruit juice. Homemade smoothies. Blend fresh fruit with plain yogurt for a naturally sweet and nutrient-packed drink. Coconut water. Low in sugar, but high in electrolytes. Perfect for hydration in hot weather. Remember, hydration doesn't have to mean boring. There are countless flavorful, refreshing options that don't harm your health. If you've been reaching for a soda or sweetened drink daily, try replacing just one of them with water or herbal tea this week. Small steps lead to big health changes. And if you've ever noticed your energy crash after a sweet drink or struggled with sugar cravings, let us know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. Now, we've talked about the dangers of sugary sodas, but there's another type of drink that many seniors enjoy daily, sometimes without realizing its hidden risks of caffeinated beverages. Coffee, energy drinks, and even some sodas can sneak in way more caffeine than your body can handle after 60. We're going to break down why too much caffeine could be sabotaging your sleep, your heart health, and even your bones. So stay with me, because what I'll share next may surprise you. Imagine this. You're sitting at the breakfast table. In front of you is a steaming cup of coffee that has been part of your morning routine for decades. It feels like a trusted friend, right? But what if I told you that this friend could actually be straining your heart, raising your blood pressure, and even robbing you of sleep that your body desperately needs for healing as you age? And here's another one. How about a simple glass of grapefruit juice? It seems so healthy, packed with vitamin C, and refreshing. But for seniors, that innocent-looking juice could interfere with more than 85 different medications, from blood pressure drugs to cholesterol-lowering statins. Yes, a single glass of grapefruit juice could turn your prescription into a dangerous cocktail. Shocking, right? That's why we're going to uncover the next two surprising culprits in the senior diet: caffeinated drinks and grapefruit juice. Both are everyday beverages. Both feel harmless. But both can quietly set seniors up for serious health risks. Drink number 3, caffeinated drinks: coffee, tea, energy drinks, and sodas. Caffeine is everywhere. Coffee, black tea, green tea, sodas, chocolate, even energy drinks marketed as performance boosters. For younger adults, moderate caffeine can feel harmless. But for seniors, caffeine works differently. As we age, our metabolism slows down. That means the body takes longer to process caffeine, which can make its effects much stronger and longer lasting. What used to feel like a gentle energy boost in your 40s might now feel like jitteriness, insomnia, or even heart palpitations in your 70s. According to the National Institute on Aging, seniors are more likely to experience the side effects of caffeine because of age-related changes in the liver and kidneys, which metabolize and filter it. This means even 1 or 2 cups of coffee can hit harder than expected. Why it matters for seniors. Heart health risks. Caffeine is a stimulant. It increases heart rate and can temporarily raise blood pressure. For seniors with hypertension, arrhythmias, or heart disease, that's not something to take lightly. The American Heart Association notes that excessive caffeine can trigger irregular heart rhythms in older adults. Sleep disruption. Seniors already face challenges with sleep insomnia, lighter sleep cycles, and more frequent waking at night. Caffeine lingers in the body for up to 10 hours. That afternoon cup of tea may be the reason you're still awake at midnight. And poor sleep doesn't just mean fatigue. It raises the risk of stroke, diabetes, memory decline, and falls. Bone health. High caffeine intake is linked to reduced calcium absorption. Harvard researchers warn that this can contribute to bone thinning and fractures, which are already a major concern for seniors. Think of Mr. Daniels, a 72-year-old retired teacher. He loved his morning coffee 3 cups every day. Over time, he started experiencing restless nights and dizziness during the day. His blood pressure readings were fluctuating. His doctor suggested cutting down to 1 cup in the morning and switching to herbal teas later in the day. Within weeks, his sleep improved and his blood pressure stabilized. Here are safer alternatives for seniors. Herbal teas like chamomile, peppermint, and rooibos. They're naturally caffeine-free and can actually promote relaxation and digestion. Warm lemon water in the morning instead of coffee. It hydrates, supports digestion, and gives a refreshing start without the jitters. Decaf coffee or green tea. If you still crave the taste, decaf versions provide the flavor without the high caffeine load. If you're watching this and you or a loved one are still drinking multiple cups of coffee or caffeinated sodas every day, consider making the switch to herbal teas or limiting coffee to just 1 small cup in the morning. Your heart and your bones will thank you. Drink number 4, grapefruit juice, the silent medication interferer. Grapefruit juice looks innocent, it tastes refreshing, and it's loaded with vitamin C. But grapefruit juice has a dark side. It interacts with an enormous number of prescription medications, many of which are commonly prescribed to seniors. The issue comes down to something called enzyme inhibition. Grapefruit contains compounds called phenylcoumarins that block a liver enzyme known as CYP3A4. This enzyme helps break down many drugs in the body. When grapefruit juice blocks it, those medications stay in your system longer and build up to dangerous levels. Here is why it matters for seniors. Medication overload. According to the FDA, grapefruit juice can interfere with over 85 medications. That includes statins for cholesterol, certain blood pressure drugs, and medications for irregular heartbeat. Seniors are more vulnerable because they're more likely to be on multiple prescriptions. Serious side effects. Statins like simvastatin and atorvastatin. Grapefruit juice can increase the risk of muscle breakdown and kidney damage. Blood pressure medications. It can cause blood pressure to drop dangerously low, leading to dizziness or fainting. Antiarrhythmic drugs. It can increase the risk of serious heart rhythm disturbances. Stroke and heart risk. When medications don't work properly or work too strongly, the risks of stroke, heart attack, and falls all go up dramatically. A 2012 study published in the Canadian Medical Association Journal warned that grapefruit drug interactions are a significant but often under-recognized risk, especially for seniors. They found that as little as 1 glass of grapefruit juice could turn a safe medication dose into a dangerous one. The FDA has also issued repeated warnings, advising patients, especially older adults, to check with their doctors before drinking grapefruit juice if they are on medications. Consider Mrs. Alvarez, a 68-year-old grandmother. She started drinking grapefruit juice every morning because she heard it was good for the immune system. But she was also on atorvastatin for high cholesterol. Within weeks, she experienced muscle weakness and severe fatigue. Her doctor discovered dangerously high levels of the drug in her bloodstream caused by grapefruit juice. Once she stopped drinking it, her symptoms resolved. Here are safer alternatives for seniors. Orange juice or apple juice. These do not interfere with common medications and still provide vitamin C and hydration. Fresh fruit, like oranges, tangerines, or berries. These provide immune-boosting antioxidants without the risk of medication interactions. Herbal infusions with citrus flavors, such as hibiscus with lemon, for a refreshing alternative. If you or your loved one is taking medications for cholesterol, blood pressure, or heart rhythm problems, talk to your doctor before touching grapefruit juice again. Better yet, swap it for orange juice, apple juice, or just plain water with a squeeze of lemon. It's a small change that could literally save your life. We've now covered 4 major dangers hiding in plain sight for seniors: alcohol, sugary sodas, caffeinated drinks, and grapefruit juice. But there's one more category left, arguably the most alarming. It's not just about coffee or juice. It's about beverages designed to boost your energy that could actually push your heart to its limits. In this final section, we'll reveal the truth about energy drinks and highly processed beverages and why seniors over 60 should stay far away from them. Imagine it's mid-afternoon. You're feeling tired, and someone hands you a brightly colored can promising instant energy and super focus. You take a sip, and suddenly your heart is racing, your hands feel shaky, and you're wide awake. For many seniors, this isn't just an uncomfortable side effect. It could trigger dangerous heart rhythms, raise blood pressure, or even increase stroke risk. Drink number 5, energy drinks and processed beverages. Energy drinks have exploded in popularity in the last 2 decades. They're marketed as quick fixes for fatigue, promising stamina, focus, and alertness. But here's the hidden danger. These drinks are cocktails of caffeine, sugar, artificial additives, and stimulants that put seniors at significant risk. Unlike coffee or tea, which are natural sources of caffeine, most energy drinks combine high doses of caffeine with guarana, taurine, and sugar. A single can may contain the equivalent of 3-4 cups of coffee plus sugar that spikes blood sugar dangerously. For someone over 60, with a slower metabolism and often multiple medications, this mix is a ticking time bomb. Why it matters for seniors. Heart rhythm disturbances. Energy drinks can push the heart into overdrive. According to the Journal of the American Heart Association, 2017, energy drinks have been linked to irregular heartbeats and elevated blood pressure, even in young adults. For seniors who may already have cardiovascular disease, this risk is multiplied. Blood pressure spikes. A Mayo Clinic study, 2015, found that drinking just one 16-ounce energy drink significantly raised blood pressure and stress hormone levels. High blood pressure is already one of the biggest stroke risk factors in seniors. Medication interactions. Seniors often take medications like beta blockers, blood thinners, or diabetes drugs. The stimulants and sugar in energy drinks can counteract these medications, making them less effective or dangerously over-effective. Sleep disruption. Many seniors already struggle with sleep. Caffeine late in the day makes insomnia worse, leading to fatigue, falls, and poor mental health. Research-backed explanation. The American College of Cardiology reported that even healthy adults experienced abnormal electrical activity in their hearts after consuming just 2 cans of an energy drink. The National Institute on Aging warns that excess caffeine, especially from processed energy drinks, worsens dehydration, a serious issue in seniors since their thirst sensation decreases with age. According to Harvard Health Publishing, seniors are especially vulnerable to caffeine toxicity, which can cause tremors, confusion, and even seizures when consumed in large amounts. Take Mr. Thompson, a 72-year-old retiree who liked to grab a can of energy drink before his daily walks. He thought it would give him the pep he needed. But after a week, he noticed his heart racing, dizziness, and occasional chest tightness. His doctor later told him the energy drinks were straining his heart and interacting with his blood pressure medication. It wasn't the walk that was dangerous. It was the drink fueling it. Here are safer alternatives for seniors. Instead of reaching for an energy drink or processed sports beverage, seniors can stay hydrated with water. Sometimes fatigue is just mild dehydration. A glass of water can work wonders. Try herbal teas. Chamomile, rooibos, or ginger tea can provide gentle refreshment without caffeine or sugar. Enjoy a balanced snack. A banana with peanut butter or a handful of nuts gives natural energy and stabilizes blood sugar. Green tea, in moderation, provides a gentler caffeine boost with antioxidants that support brain and heart health. If you're still with me, type in the comments. No more energy drinks for me. Let's make this a pledge together, because your health is worth more than a temporary buzz. We've now covered 5 drinks seniors over 60 must avoid for better health. Alcohol, linked to falls, medication risks, and stroke. Sugary sodas and sweetened beverages fuel diabetes, obesity, and inflammation. Caffeinated drinks worsen insomnia, heart health, and anxiety. Grapefruit juice dangerously interferes with medications. Energy drinks and processed beverages trigger heart problems, high blood pressure, and medication conflicts. Remember, every sip you take either moves you closer to health or closer to harm. Seniors often think that what they drink doesn't matter as much as what they eat, but the truth is, beverages can be just as powerful. As Dr. Walter Willett, professor of nutrition at Harvard, once said, "What we drink is just as important as what we eat, especially for long-term health." For seniors, the stakes are even higher. Avoiding these harmful drinks protects your independence by reducing fall and stroke risk, your brain health by protecting against memory, decline from alcohol, caffeine, and dehydration, your heart health by preventing high blood pressure and arrhythmias, your overall longevity. Here's the good news. You don't have to overhaul everything at once. Start by cutting out just one of these drinks from your daily
routine. Replace soda with sparkling water. Swap grapefruit juice for apple or cranberry juice if safe with your meds. Skip the nightcap and have chamomile tea instead. Small changes create big results. And remember, you're not just doing this for yourself. You're doing it for your children, your grandchildren, and the joy of living fully independently and healthily. So now I want to hear from you. Which of these drinks surprised you the most? Are you ready to swap them for healthier alternatives? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And if you found this video helpful, hit that like button to help other seniors find it. Subscribe for more doctor-backed health tips every week. And don't forget to share this video with a loved one. You might just save a life. Because at the end of the day, your health is your greatest investment, and the choices you make today. Yes, Even something as small as what you drink can shape the years ahead. Stay strong, stay healthy, and remember you have the power to choose better health one sip at a time.